Now, the internet is back and the truth is finally out. Museveni has called his 71% win a test of strength, but Kampala is silent.
The internet is back in Uganda, and videos are emerging of rigging and ballot stuffing, allegedly by poll workers to benefit President Museveni. Before I show you the videos, this is what a presidential ballot looks like in Uganda. President Museveni is at the bottom, BOBI Wine near the top. BOBI Wine posted this video, allegedly from Western Uganda. It shows a row of people in high-vis vests ticking against Museveni in their poll books.
Yes, Museveni had a speech today in Western Uganda, and of course he's saying that his 71% win is a test of strength.
10 million of my people did not turn up. They would have been embarrassed badly. Because you see, we got 8 million votes about, but remember, we have got, when we reviewed the membership on the 6th of May, you remember we had 21 million members and 18 million of them are voters.
And he's saying that his party, NRM, is actually more powerful. But again, here's the point. Uganda is silent. People are really hurting. People are in pain. People can't express their pain out of fear. And Uganda now is just full of tension. Here's the point. The world is watching Butambala, and you see, Butambala, remember the 10 people were killed, and of course, it's so sad that people lose their lives because they're having divergent views. And you see, the Gen Z revolution moves from the blackout to the streets. As we're talking now, internet, Facebook, Twitter, of course, the government has banned no communicating because they're afraid that this might lead to actually a demonstration because people tend to incite others by using Twitter and Facebook. But of course, can that really save or quell the pain the people of Uganda feel? You see, truth be told, Museveni's win is being doubted, and even the world is just watching, saying that how do you win with over 70%, yet you are afraid of even allowing the people of Uganda talk?
We went polling stations very early morning at 6, but I think around 90%, if not 100% of the polling stations, polling started after 10 a.m. And certainly the people who had come early to participate in the process left without participating. In some places, polling started way past 1, which clearly reduces the number of people that are going to participate in this process. We saw failure of the BVVK system that the Electoral Commission has been touting around. Remember that the people of Uganda have parted with billions of money to procure this system. And this system was procured to, among other things, address concerns that have characterized our electoral processes, including multiple voting, including impersonation, including ballot stuffing, among other things. Now, yesterday, across the country, in places like Sembabule, in places like Isinjiro, in places like Chisenyi here in Kampala Central, and several other places, there was massive ballot stuffing.
Because if Museveni won fairly, if he had that big number, because 71% or 70% of the votes, that's a big percentage, then why should you shut down the internet? Okay, because it means that you are having followers, supporters. So you're not supposed to be afraid of people talking online. But the fact that Museveni is afraid when he sees people talking online, it shows you that this 70% should be investigated. Now, BOBI Wine is saying that his team will go to court and is questioning the biometric glitch. Remember, the kits that were used for election had malfunctioned and they were not able to actually conduct the election. And BOBI Wine is saying that this is a way of the government rigging election, because it is easier to rig election by using the manual system, okay? Because manually, just hire people who will be counting the votes. But using the system would have made it difficult for the government to rig from Museveni. That's how BOBI Wine is arguing it out. Now, here's the problem. You see, Museveni wants to be, sworn in by next week.
Interesting to see that everybody in Uganda and outside Uganda sees impending rigging. But what we have called upon the people of Uganda is to take charge of their country, not to leave it to just politicians, not even to myself. We went into this election amidst all the violence and brutality because we wanted to reach out to the people of Uganda and awaken them. We know that when the people of Uganda rise to the occasion and demand for what is rightly theirs, they will get it. This has happened in Madagascar, it has happened in Sudan, it has happened in Egypt, it is happening in Iran, and it definitely can happen in Uganda.
But the people of Uganda are really bleeding inside, okay? They can't express their pain out of fear. And it is said that right now, people are on the streets demonstrating, but out of fear. Because there are people, each squad, roaming around. If you are found demonstrating, if you are found saying Museveni must go, you are actually arrested. And you might even be abducted and you might disappear forever. That's what they're saying. So if at all it's true, then I believe that Uganda is actually having a lot of time to actually heal. And I think it will take years for Ugandans to feel free. Now you see, Museveni has been in power for 40 years. You see, 40 years is a long time. And now he will be sworn in, and of course he will go for another 5 years. So it means that he will serve for 45 years. Just imagine, 45 years in power. You see, some people are born finding Museveni in power. People marry Museveni in power. People have kids. Their kids go to school. Museveni is still in power. So Uganda people, they are crying, they want change. And they want a younger person to actually take over the government. But you see, BOBI Wine has tried so hard. He's been arrested before, he's been abducted, and he has gone through all sorts of atrocities. But he has not managed to actually take power from Museveni. And BOBI Wine is saying that it doesn't matter how long it will take, but he will eventually take power from Museveni, and he will actually save Uganda from Museveni's regime. Now, here's the question. If at all it happens, how do you think the people of Uganda will feel? Because I tell you what, the people of Uganda, they feel that they have a burden. Because you see, when you are having an economy not functioning, and the president has insisted that he will rule forever, of course, the country is the one burning. The people, the poor people, okay? The normal people are the ones suffering. And that's the change BOBI Wine wants to take. Now, USA is now getting into this story, and they are saying that the people of Uganda need transparency, they need the democracy to be respected, and they are saying that they are actually going to have a sales meeting with top Uganda officials and discuss this matter and find a way of healing the people of Uganda. You see, winning an election is one thing, but ruling is another thing. You might win an election because you have power, you must force yourself to victory, but how will you rule your people, knowing that indeed these people did not vote for me, okay? And you see, what has happened in Uganda, of course, there's no evidence to show that there was rigging, but of course, the circumstances following the announcement of Museveni are questionable. For example, you see the kids, malfunctioning. You see Bobby Wine abduction, he escapes, and everything. 10 people being shot dead. You see, such scenarios make someone wonder whether an election was free and fair. So Uganda's youth are demonstrating, they demand their victory back. They will say that they know who won the elections, and they are warning that they need to see their person, the person they gave votes to, actually take over Uganda. Now, do you think Bobby Wine won the elections? Or do you think Bobby Wine is just fighting a losing war? Do you think the people of Uganda love Museveni? Do you think so? Or do you think Museveni forced the win? Anyway, the answer lies with you. We don't know what really happened, but you can just point out what happened. Anyway, guys, this is just an opinion. Tell me what you think. Do you think Museveni is best for Uganda, or do you think Uganda needs a young person? Thank you. If you love politics, then Dr. Politica is your cup of tea. The place for minds that think. If you are watching this from anywhere else, search the name, hit subscribe, and stay sharp with us. Thank you for making Dota Politica your home for fearless political truth. Every view, every like, every share fuels the fire behind the hours of research, filming, and editing we pour into each episode. By showing up consistently, you don't just support a channel, you empower a voice. In a world ruled by headlines, spin, and power games, you remind us that real people still care about real facts. We are here to inform, inspire, and ignite critical thinking, not just for today, but for generations to come. You are not just a viewer, you are the reason this platform exists.